There can only be one NFL champion. The sad truth of the matter is that 31 other teams end the year with their heads hanging down, and every franchise has that one epic season that barely slipped away. Apologies for revisiting the heartbreak. This is every team's best season that didn't result in a Super Bowl win. It's been tough times for San Fran in the big game recently. Both 2019 and 2023 squads have a strong case here, but we're going back a bit further for their best non-championship team. Shocking upsets in 1987 and 1990 prevented the Bay from witnessing 3 championships in a row, though 1992 was the most complete 49er team to miss out on a ring.
Pulls it down, comes back out, gonna take off. To do that. Steve Young. Touchdown, 49ers. Young, he wants to go deep, and he's got Jerry Rice. And it'll be a touchdown.
Steve Young showed the world the Niners would be just fine without Joe Cool. He won MVP as the conductor of the highest scoring offense. Combine that with the third best scoring defense, and the Niners went 14-2, the best record in football. It would set up a titanic clash in the NFC title game, San Fran down late, needing a stop and a score.
Aikman quickly. The pass to Harper. Harper off to the races. They're going to run him down, however. At about the 9-yard line, Dana Hall.
The 10-point loss to Dallas was a crushing blow to the team and to Young's early legacy. This was a franchise expected to win it all every year. The Cowboys went on to capture the next 2 Super Bowls, and Young had to wait until 1994 to get the monkey off his back.
Tonight, a dynasty is born, baby.
Not quite, Rams fans.
48-yard field goal attempt. Set to go. Snap, ball down. Kick up. Kick is on the way, and it is good! It's good! It's good! Adam Vinatieri boots a 48-yard field goal, and the game is over! And the Patriots are Super Bowl champions, the best team in the National Football League!
Before falling to the Patriots in Super Bowl 36, the greatest show on turf seemed destined to have their championship sequel. 2001 was marked by a 14-2 record, a second Kurt Warner MVP, and a third straight season with the most points in the league.
And that last rush, Macklin hit him just as he threw the ball. Goes to the end zone this time. Flag down, and it's caught. What a catch by Holt. He seemed to be blanketed by Nick Harper, and he still took it away.
The only thing more shocking than the Rams' loss to New England was how quickly the wheels fell off. Warner only started 7 more games for the team. St. Louis enjoyed only 1 more winning season before moving to Los Angeles. The greatest show on turf never recovered from 2001. Now, you could easily go with the 2014 Seahawks here. That team holds the title for the most devastating end to a season in franchise history.
Lynch in the backfield. Russell looks, throws inside. Oh my God, he's picked off at the goal line.
But 2005 was Seattle's original Super Bowl squad, winning games on the ground with the league MVP.
Jeremy is a backup receiver coming in. You got to be able to shut those guys down. And they can't shut this guy down, Alexander. He's looking for the house.
35-30, 25, 10, 5, touchdown Seahawks.
Shaun Alexander scored a then-record 28 touchdowns in 2005. Eventual Hall of Famers Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson were paving lanes and protecting quarterback Matt Hasselbeck on the league's highest-scoring offense. Seattle steamrolled the rest of the NFC to get to Super Bowl 40, but they laid an egg against the 6-seed Steelers, falling 21-10.
And a tough defeat for the Seahawks, who know in their heart of hearts they did not play their best game.
Warner has time. Fitzgerald into Steeler territory. 30, 20, 10. Arizona has the lead.
Kurt Warner read the defense, knew where he had to go, and he went to the perfect guy in the perfect situation.
Sure, 2015 might have been better on paper, but 2008 was just too incredible to pass up. A 9-7 team that barely made the postseason put together one of the most miraculous runs in recent history. Kurt Warner turned back the clock, and Larry Fitzgerald stole the show with some of the greatest playoff performances of all time. In the end, Big Ben and Santonio Holmes were the ones that got their Hollywood ending.
Outside left. Roethlisberger has time, throws to the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Holmes.
After coming back and fighting back and showing all the guts that they did, to eventually lose it down the stretch is a hard pill to swallow.
Who knows what would have happened if James Bradbury didn't get called for holding in Super Bowl 57, but those Eagles got their revenge in 2024. Philly's most complete non-championship team came nearly 20 years earlier.
And a big part of that is McNabb, but Terrell Owens being physical is also a part of it.
And that pass is caught by Owens. It was a low throw. He breaks away. He's inside the 10, and he will score. And that rating will go up a couple of notches. And a little skater's waltz here in the end zone, 59 yards.
After 3 straight losses in the NFC Championship, Andy Reid added a much-needed playmaker in Terrell Owens. The offense elevated to the top 10. Jeremiah Trotter and B-Doc anchored the number 2 scoring defense, and it all came together for a trip to Super Bowl 39. Unfortunately, they ran into the Patriots, who were putting the finishing touches on their first dynasty. And Philly fans only remember this great season by images of Donovan McNabb getting sick on the sidelines. Washington's 1982 team won Super Bowl 17 on the backs of John Riggins and the Hogs. In 1983, they got even better. MVP Joe Theismann elevated his game to make the offense truly unstoppable. The Skins scored more points than any other team in NFL history at the time. Defensively, their plus 43 turnover differential is the best ever, with nobody else coming close. They were destined to win the Lombardi, but nobody told the Raiders.
He's going to go to work for something. Goes outside, attempts a screen. Picked off by Jack Squirick. And the Raiders get another touchdown on a turnover.
3 turnovers from Theismann as Washington fell 38-9 on the game's biggest stage. The Cowboys are an extremely tough call. 1994 featured the triplets at their peak. Their 1968 team had a plus 245 point differential. There's even 2014 and 2023 to consider in their most recent years. But 1978 was a cut above. The reigning champs that lost in Super Bowl 13 had 7 Hall of Famers on the roster.
See what Staubach has up his sleeve on 3rd and 3. He's going to throw it back to the goal line. Pass is tipped. Caught by Dorsett anyway. At the 15. Dorsett at the 20. Breaks a tackle at the 30. Down the near sideline to the 40. Cuts back to the middle of the field. He may go all the way.
Before the season, many said that the Cowboys had too much of everything. And in their opener, they appear to have all this and more.
Roger Staubach was at the peak of his powers. Dallas scored more points than any team in football. Tom Landry's doomsday defense shut down opponents en route to a 12-4 record. They were on a collision course with Pittsburgh all year long to decide who the team of the decade would be. Come Super Bowl Sunday, America's team was haunted by costly mistakes, ending their repeat bid.
They lose 35-31 to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the new champions of the National Football League, dethroning the Dallas Cowboys.
2000 has become a forgotten season for Giants fans. New Yorkers are still haunted by the Ravens defense, but this team accomplished a lot before that Super Bowl letdown.
One of the top receivers in the league. Barber with a nice run. Slips a tackle. Big run for Barber. Tom Knight trying to get him. Barber going for the end zone. He's in.
Tiki Barber and Amani Toomer brought the firepower on offense, plus the defense was loaded. Michael Strahan, Keith Hamilton, and Jesse Armstead headlined the front seven. The Giants held opponents to just 10 combined points in the lead-up to Super Bowl 35. That included a 41-0 thrashing of the Vikings in the NFC Championship, a representation of the physicality that the best New York teams always seem to have. The '85 Bears get all the buzz, and deservedly so, but did you know the 1986 team gave up fewer points? That's right, only 11.7 allowed on average to go along with 14 wins. Ditka and the crew look to extend the Super Bowl shuffle for another season.
On 3rd and 5, he's got Herman Hunter and Thompson in there, and he is nailed and fumbled. Touchdown, Bears.
Wilbur Marshall on the blitz, and Hipple is still down on Turk. He got to the inside there, found the gap, nobody blocked him, and Hipple didn't see him coming. The ball was jolted loose, makes the tackle, picks it up, goes in for the touchdown. It was all Wilbur Marshall on that play.
So what prevented the repeat? Simple, a disastrous season of quarterback play. Jim McMahon was injured on one of the dirtiest plays you'll ever see.
Charles Martin took the shot at McMahon well after the ball was thrown and slammed him to the turf.
Mike Tomczak, Steve Fuller, and even Doug Flutie all saw game action at different times. In total, Chicago's quarterbacks threw 12 touchdowns to 25 interceptions in 1986. Flutie got the start in the divisional round, throwing 2 picks in a double-digit loss to Washington.
The Redskins will advance for the Chicago Bears. The season, certainly filled with their share of adversity and challenges, has come to an end with a 14-3 record, and it ends in the divisional playoffs in the NFC.
Robert Smith is back from Minnesota, and he is throwing it back to Cunningham, the old flea picker, and open is Randy Moss, and in the end zone is a Minnesota touchdown.
Yep, you knew they were going to do it. The fans knew they were going to do it. The Dallas Cowboys knew they were going to do it. You knew they were going to do it early. Where Randall Cunningham just gets that ball and he just chucks it deep to Randy Moss.
Pretty easy choice here. The 1998 Vikings were unlike any offense before it. Bombs away to Chris Carter and rookie Randy Moss. Minnesota averaged nearly 35 points per game with one of the greatest passing attacks ever. Their plus 260 point differential is one of the highest in history. At 15 wins, they were a shoo-in for Super Bowl 33, or so we thought.
Well, the answer should probably be yes.
39 yards away, and it's not good.
Gary Anderson's lone missed kick of the year gave Atlanta life in the '98 NFC Championship game. A Morton Anderson kick in overtime put an end to the Vikes' electric season. What looked to be Minnesota's greatest season ended up being their most heartbreaking. The ringless Lions have plenty of seasons fans would like to forget. That being said, the past few brought hope back into the lives of Detroit faithful. None was better than 2024, a franchise record 15 wins and 564 points scored.
Seattle's got to make a stop. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to throw it back to Goff. Who had that on the bingo card? Touchdown Lions.
Jared Goff was playing like an MVP. Sonic and Knuckles formed the best running back tandem in football, and Amon-Ra St. Brown was an All-Pro for a second straight season. But the other side of the ball was their Achilles heel. Injuries on defense piled up, and Dan Campbell's squad was wounded going into the postseason. There, the Lions gave up 45 points in a crushing divisional round loss to Washington.
2nd and 10. Play action, and that gives Rodgers all night. And when he has all night, he'll find somebody open, and it's Jordy Nelson for a touchdown.
We have seen big plays from Aaron Rodgers to Jordy Nelson all season long. It has simply been a monster year, and the combination of those two, the numbers that those two put up together, are among the very best in the NFL.
The first of 4 Aaron Rodgers MVP campaigns came the year after Green Bay won it all in Super Bowl 45. Rodgers got even better in 2011, posting the highest passer rating in league history, a franchise-best 15 wins, and the overwhelming favorites to repeat as world champs.
For Lawrence Tynes-Filbert, be a 55-yard try from here, and now instead they're going for it all. The pass is caught for the touchdown. Unbelievable. Hakeem Nicks on a last-second heave by Eli Manning.
Instead, the Pack became just another great regular season team that fell victim to Eli Manning. And despite a load of playoff runs from Green Bay over the next decade, Rodgers never got back to the mountaintop.
Stewart in the backfield. Newton on the quarterback draw, diving into the end zone for the touchdown.
With Super Cam at the helm, the 2015 Panthers won 15 games and earned a trip to Super Bowl 50. Newton totaled 45 touchdowns en route to the MVP. More impressively, he accomplished it without a true top wideout. Instead, Greg Olsen stepped up at the tight end spot. Defensively, Luke Kuechly and company forced the most turnovers in football. The Panthers wreaked havoc all year long, winning the NFC Championship by 5 scores. But the best offense in football was neutralized on the game's biggest stage.
And the Panthers have a 3rd and 10. Here comes pressure, and they've gotten to him. The ball is out in the end zone, and it's recovered by Malik Jackson for the touchdown. A meeting here of the 1st and 2nd picks of the 2011 draft. Newton 1st, Miller 2nd.
The story of Super Bowl 50 was all about Von Miller and Denver's front 7. 10 points as all Carolina's offense mustered up under the bright lights.
Gives it to Kamara. He's got a huge opening. And he's able to get past the secondary and take off for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
The Saints' 2018 team has been clouded by controversy from the NFC Championship no call. They look to be in pole position for a Super Bowl 53 face-off against the Patriots.
Quick snap. Breeze. Pass is incomplete. No flag for Tommy Lee Lewis. Nickel Roby-Coleman delivered a hit. And the two officials talk to each other. Crowd's going crazy as there's no flag right on the Saints sideline.
That could have and maybe should have been pass interference, and if so, it's effectively game over.
The offense scored 40 or more points on 6 separate occasions and over 500 on the year. Drew Brees was entering the twilight of his career, and 2018 was one of his last chances to hoist another Lombardi.
Protection breaks down, ball is up for grabs and caught, picked off by John Johnson. That ball hit at the line of scrimmage and John Johnson on his back.
Instead, New Orleans was walked off at home by the foot of Greg Zuerlein, leaving Saints fans asking what if to this day.
It's one of the most heartbreaking losses I've ever been in attendance for. It's an absolutely devastating ending for the New Orleans Saints.
Brady's going to get him in field goal position. He's the first 300-yard passer against the Bills defense all year. And here he is on 3rd and 3 from the pocket. Connecting. That's Perriman taking it all the way for the win. The first time he had been targeted the entire game. Rashad Perriman.
The Buccaneers' offense of 2021 was actually better than their super season of 2020. At age 44, Tom Brady was defying Father Time. He led the league in both passing yards and touchdowns, finishing 2nd in MVP voting. Their divisional round clash with the Rams saw Tampa fall in a massive hole. Down 27-3, the Bucs rallied and were minutes away from completing an improbable comeback. Unfortunately for the crew, it was LA's night to have their signature moment.
Stafford, deep downfield. He's got Kupp again.
clock it. We got to get the field goal. Clock running down. They have time. Rams getting set. Getting ready for Matt Gay to come in. He spikes it there, and Matt Gay will come in and try to win the game.
Here's the spot. The kick is airborne. It is good. And that will win the game for the Los Angeles Rams, 30-27. When the Buccaneers' brilliant comeback effort in the fourth quarter comes up empty.
Stafford to Cup halted Tampa's title hopes, but boy was Brady close to getting ring number 8. Don't worry, Falcons fans, we won't make you relive 28-3 again. Instead, Atlanta's most well-rounded team was in 1998, where the Dirty Birds reached the Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history.
That was a 19-yard gain, and here is Jamal Anderson. Anderson with one defender, and Merton Hance tries to push him out. Touchdown, Jamal Anderson.
Jamal Anderson was an unstoppable force, totaling over 2,100 yards from scrimmage. The team won 14 games, still a franchise record. Atlanta was as well-rounded as it gets with a top 5 scoring offense and defense. They still flew under the radar in large part because of that great 98 Vikings team. But when they matched up in the playoffs, Atlanta showed the world just how good they were. The party ended there, however. Super Bowl 33 quickly turned into a disaster with Denver outclassing the Falcons in every way. The Chiefs dynasty has a couple of great teams that fell just short of the mountaintop. 2020 and 2024 both ended in Super Bowl losses. Going back further, 2003 was the franchise's most prolific year on offense. Well, until some guy named Patrick Mahomes stepped onto the field.
And Spencer Ware in the backfield. Pressure now on Mahomes. He's in trouble. Now gets it away. Are you kidding me?
4th and 9. They're chasing after him. Mahomes in trouble, flings it across his body, and it's caught by Hill. Hill has it. He came back for it, and he's out of bounds at the 12.
All the way across the field while your body weight is backwards falling out, and Hill comes right back and hits him in stride.
48 yards. Just incredible. 4th and 9.
My goodness!
Game on the line.
50 touchdown passes, over 5,000 yards passing, MVP. A preview of what was to come as the Chiefs' offense quickly ascended into one of the best of all time. Kansas City hosted the AFC Championship game against New England and needed just one more stop to reach its first Super Bowl since 1969.
Ball's picked. Ball's intercepted and comes out of the hands of Ward for a moment.
Offside. Defense, number 55, lined up in the neutral zone. The 5-yard penalty will replay 3rd down.
G. Ford was lined up in the neutral zone. It'll make it a 3rd and 5.
Oh, can you believe it? He's right there. And he is. He's over the blue by quite a bit, actually.
The Pats go on to score, and Mahomes never sees the ball in overtime. Brutal.
Off the left side, Tomlinson sidesteps. Hello, history books. And no one has ever raised the bar to 29 until now.
The 2006 Chargers were the best team in the NFL all year long. We all remember LaDainian Tomlinson scoring 31 touchdowns in a single season, but San Diego had a top 10 defense to boot. Phillip Rivers and Antonio Gates were hitting their stride through the air, while Sean Merriman asserted himself as one of the league's best pass rushers. Come playoff time, Marty Schottenheimer seemed poised to break through.
Rex snap to Brady. Stands in the pocket, fires, intercepted at the 30-yard line, and taken down on a fumble on the interception. And let's see who has it. Down at the Charger 32, the Patriots have it.
Yes.
It was intercepted and then fumbled by San Diego. The Patriots recover the fumble at the Charger 31.
From the right hash, 54-yarder. On its way, it is not going to get there. It is well short. And the New England Patriots are going to end San Diego's wonderful 2006 season. It is all detonated 2 weeks into 07.
Classic Chargers inventing new ways to lose. A lot of old-school Raiders teams to think about here. Al Davis and John Madden always had Oakland on the precipice of a championship, but we're going with 1967 instead, coached by John Roush. The AFL champions earned an invite to Super Bowl II, losing just one game in the regular season. The Mad Bomber, Darryl LaMonica, was the engine to the offense, throwing 30 touchdown passes. This Raiders team notched a plus 235-point differential, winning 9 of their games by double digits. It didn't matter once they got to the final boss.
The throw. Here's his pitch. And it is intercepted. Herb Adderley picks it up at the 40, 50, down to the 40, the 30, down to the 20, cuts away from Darryl LaMonica at the 5, and goes all the way for a touchdown.
The Raiders weren't quite yet ready for the best of the NFL, losing to Green Bay's final championship team of the 1960s.
Manning out of the gun. Manning lets it fly. It's caught by Thomas. There's the record for Peyton Manning. 51 touchdowns. The new single-season mark.
The greatest regular season offense in NFL history has to be the pick here. 606 points scored in 16 games, the most ever. Peyton Manning set a record for passing yards and touchdowns in a single season. The 2013 Broncos were an absolute juggernaut. The football world expected Super Bowl 48 to be an all-time classic. Instead, it was a bloodbath.
It's snapped over the head of Peyton Manning. A flag is down, and the ball's out of the back of the end zone. It's a safety to start this game as Manning wasn't right. Manning gets hit. Ball up for grabs. Picked off by Smith. Malcolm Smith. All alone. No flags. Touchdown, Seattle.
43-8, not even close. Despite all the highlights and records broken by the offense that year, the Legion of Boom put a permanent stain on Denver's legacy.
Here's again, like a statue in the pocket. Able to go long for Moss. Moss has his first touchdown as a Patriot.
Brady with time. Going back again to Moss. Touchdown, Patriots. And Brady and Moss hook up on a record catch.
Congratulations, Tom. Congratulations, Randy. Oh my goodness, 50 touchdown passes.
Not much debate to be had here. The 2007 Patriots are unequivocally the best team to fall short of a Lombardi Trophy. That year, they broke records for points scored, point differential, passing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns by one player, you name it. These games weren't even close, and New England cruised to an 18-0 record ahead of Super Bowl 42. What was supposed to be the coronation of the greatest team ever turned into one of the craziest upsets you'll ever see.
Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet. Airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree.
How did he get away from that?
I have no idea.
Tyree had Harrison all over him. The ball was on his helmet, but he got his other hand on it and pulled it in. 39 seconds to go. Manning takes the snap, looks left, lobs it left. Burst is wide open. Touchdown Giants in the left corner of the end zone. And that is it. The New York Giants have knocked off the New England Patriots 17-14. The Patriots will not be perfect. They were for 18 games, but not the 19th.
Jets faithful have looked for reasons to believe since 1968. They've suffered more than perhaps any fan base in the NFL since their win in Super Bowl III. New York's next best season came 30 years later as they won 12 games under the leadership of Bill Parcells.
3rd down and 7, and here come the Jets on an all-out blitz. Ball knocked away by Victor
Mr. Green, and it is picked up. And running for the end zone is Jerome Henderson, and he'll score for the Jets. 53-yard run.
The 98 Jets ranked second in points allowed. On offense, the three-headed monster of Vinny Testaverde, Curtis Martin, and Keyshawn Johnson led the way. The 1998 season ended in heartbreak for Minnesota, Atlanta, and you can add the Jets too. New York ran into a buzzsaw in the AFC Championship game. Terrell Davis and company were too much to handle, and the Jets are still looking for that Super Bowl season.
Nathan is in as a blocker or as a receiver from the Raiders 4. Low snap again. Here's Marino. Wide open field. Throws for a touchdown, and there's the record. That's number 37, and he threw it to Jimmy Cefalo. In the 1984 season, number 37 on the season breaks the all-time NFL record.
It's a shame Dan Marino never won a ring. One of the most talented quarterbacks to ever step on a field. It's the one glaring omission from his legendary resume. No year was better than 1984. In one of the greatest single seasons in NFL history, Marino broke the record for completions, yards, and touchdowns, reaching his only career Super Bowl.
See 4 down linemen.
Came to see an offense and the wrong one showed up.
The problem was the 49ers were also one of the greatest teams of all time. Their defense held Marino in check, winning Super Bowl 19 easily. Over 40 years later, the Dolphins have yet to field a better team.
You always got to take advantage of your opportunity when you get it, because you never know what's coming next. The 49ers, they were a damn good football team.
Josh Allen in the current rendition of the Bills had a plethora of disappointing endings, but nothing compares to the two worst words you can say in Buffalo.
No good. Wide right.
The K-Gun offense mowed down the competition in 1990, 13-3 record with Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, and Andre Reed running the show. You didn't sleep much better as an opposing offense either, knowing Buffalo had Bruce Smith, the future all-time sack leader. 95 points scored in their two playoff games leading up to Super Bowl 25, but against Parcells, Belichick, and LT, they failed to outscore a Giants team led by backup quarterback Jeff Hostetler. Don't worry, Bills fans, though. You got another crack at it the next year, and the next, and the next. Never mind.
There's a gleam, man. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
Oh, Marty Schottenheimer. He did so much to bring a winning culture to the Chiefs and Chargers, but his first successful turnaround came in Cleveland. This is also where the playoff heartbreak began.
Kosar wants to throw, pumping once, now throwing long down the left side. Slaughter has it. He's going in for a touchdown. The Browns have won the game. 36-yard touchdown pass, and Bernie's got his 400 yards plus, and the Browns are going absolutely berserk in the end zone.
Cleveland went 12-4 in 1986 playing Marty ball. Run the ball, limit turnovers, and play sound defense. That's just what they did, earning the top seed in the AFC. They had John Elway and the Broncos on the ropes in the AFC Championship game. After scoring a late touchdown, Cleveland pinned Denver 98 yards away from the end zone, and then the drive.
To the 7, a gain of 5. 3:23 left. Elway's got some running room. Sewell. Oh, how did he hang on to it? Sewell has blockers. He'll run. Touchdown, Mark Jackson.
Of course, Denver went on to close it out in overtime. It feels like the Browns still haven't recovered. Cincinnati has made the big game 3 separate times and are still yet to break through. They came out of nowhere in 2021, but fell short at the hands of Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald. 1981 marked the first loss to Joe Montana and the 49ers. However, neither stung more than 1988.
Long count from Boomer. He'll throw it on first down. He's harassed. Down the middle he goes, and he hits his man McGee. He's got some room. His speed is great. Only one man to beat, and he's going to score. A touchdown for the Bengals.
League MVP Boomer Esiason was on fire all season long. The Icky Shuffle took the country by storm. In Super Bowl 23, they took a 3-point lead late into the fourth quarter. But the Bengals weren't the story that night. It was Bill Walsh's final game, Joe Montana's greatest drive, and John Taylor's finest moment.
Montana to Rice. He's in the clear. Just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana. Touchdown, John Taylor.
And White comes across the field to look for Bill White.
I love you. I love you.
Oh, man. That was a good game, huh?
Great game.
2004 and 2010 absolutely deserve recognition, but to find the best Steeler teams, you have to go back to their golden era. The 1970s saw Pittsburgh win 4 Super Bowls in 6 seasons, thanks to that steel curtain defense. Hall of Fame talent on all 3 levels, shutting down whoever they came across. In an odd twist of fate, the unit's best campaign occurred during a year they didn't hoist the Lombardi.
Steeler defense is not one man. It is time-honored tradition. Pittsburgh fans have always revered their defense, but this was the most frightening yet. A unit without weakness, and the daring to try anything.
In their final 9 games of the regular season, Pittsburgh allowed 28 total points. In that stretch, they shut out their opponent 5 separate times. Might as well punt on first down. At year's end, the 9.9 points allowed per game was an all-time best for the franchise. Their playoff loss to rival Oakland put a serious damper on the season, but they gave it all they had.
It's a second down and 3. Jackson takes it himself. Look at him dart back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles. Now he's got an entourage. And he's got a touchdown. He is Houdini. What a play. 47-yard touchdown run by the magical quarterback, Lamar Jackson.
In 2019, Lamar Jackson burst onto the scene in dramatic fashion. The electrifying dual threat made plays never thought to be possible from the position. Not only did he break the single-season quarterback rushing record, but he also led the league in touchdown passes. Baltimore cruised to a 14-2 record behind a running game that finished with over 3,000 yards. So what in the world happened?
For the Ravens, after the Titans were forced to punt, Jackson tosses high and intercepted. Off the deflection, it's Kevin Byard. And the Titans come up with a turnover. Direct snap. Henry, jump pass. Oh, trickery. Corey Davis. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Tennessee shocked the Ravens in the divisional, containing Lamar on one end, while Derrick Henry bulldozed Baltimore's defense in a convincing victory. Jackson has yet to take the team to a Super Bowl, with pressure mounting each year. Jacksonville's best shot at the Lombardi came in only their 5th year of existence, securing the top seed in 1999.
Expansion franchise. Brunell. Smith.
but he knows he doesn't have a big play team, and Jacksonville does.
Draw play. Taylor skips 2 tackles, and here we go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. Gets help from Smith. Touchdown. No flags. A 90-yard run.
Mark Brunell and Jimmy Smith hit their peak as an aerial connection. Defensively, Tony Brackens and Kevin Hardy anchored the league's top scoring defense. They weren't slowing down in January either, dismantling the Dolphins 62-7 in Dan Marino's final game. But they fell flat against Tennessee in the AFC Championship. In fact, all 3 Jags losses in 1999 came at the hands of the Titans. Just could never figure them out. Speaking of the Titans, 1999 was the only year the franchise reached the Super Bowl. Despite that, their 2000 squad was much improved in many key metrics, despite being eliminated sooner.
10, Titans show blitz, here they come. It's a sack, it's a fumble, and it's a Tennessee recovery. Henry Ford comes up with the ball, and unless he was touched down, this is going to be a touchdown.
While the 2000 Ravens got all the shine, Tennessee's defense allowed fewer yards that year. Their 11.9 points allowed per game is the 3rd fewest in a 16-game season. Eddie George and Steve McNair steadied the ship offensively, and the Titans were on track to win the AFC once again. But in their clash with Baltimore in the divisional, it was Ray Lewis that rose to the occasion.
Good protection. Intercepted by Ray Lewis, and Lewis is on his way. He's going to go for a touchdown. Oh my! And Eddie George is heartbroken because that's his fault.
A 24-10 slugfest where the Titans found themselves on the wrong side of history.
Texans, a field goal or a score of any time wins it.
Double screen to Johnson. Andre Johnson. Here he goes. Touchdown to cap a brilliant day.
Despite being the league's youngest franchise, Houston has already had its fair share of playoff runs. 2012 was their best shot, going 12-4 with star power on both sides of the ball. Andre Johnson had another 1,500-yard campaign, and Arian Foster led the NFL in touchdowns. Then there was J.J. Watt, who won Defensive Player of the Year with 20.5 sacks. Houston made it to the divisional, but like so many other teams of the time, fell victim to Brady and Belichick.
They elect not to, and then they go for the deep ball or down the middle. And here's Brady airing it out. Vereen has his 3rd touchdown of the game.
A season full of hope wiped away in a routine Patriots blowout. There are plenty of Peyton Manning teams that were considered here. Take your pick from any of those great teams of the 2000s, but we're going back a lot further. Before the 07 Patriots, this was the greatest team to fall short of a Super Bowl win.
The Colts recorded an historic season of football, one that after 9 frustrating years brought an NFL championship back to Baltimore.
All signs pointed to the 1968 Colts delivering the NFL its 3rd straight championship over the AFL. Coached by Don Shula, Baltimore went 13-1 with a plus 258-point differential. And get this, they did all that with a backup quarterback who went on to win the league MVP. Earl Morrall filled in for an injured Johnny Unitas, and Baltimore won its first 2 playoff games by a combined score of 58-14. Come Super Bowl III, they were 18-point favorites against the Jets. One guarantee and a monumental upset later, the entire landscape of professional football changed forever.
The game is over. The New York Jets are the world champions. They have upset the Baltimore Colts and beat them handily here today.